Hey everybody, welcome back to Prince's Friend, exploring music through Prince. And today, this was going to be news, but I've kind of dropped the ball a bit on that. This is not actually any new news for anybody anymore. It's actually kind of old news now for everybody. But what has happened recently is that Jack White has convinced, is what this headline says, convinced the Prince estate to let him release the album Camille. And since I had some choice words about it in the past, the Camille album specifically, I thought we'd go through the article and discuss it, and we'll see. Because my first argument was we don't need the Camille album. Maybe we do. Let's discuss it. We're going to go through the article real quick. It's not that long. So it says, Jack White's Third Man Records is reportedly planning to release Prince's unreleased 1986 album, Camille. The label's co-founder, Ben Blackwell, broke the news in a recent interview with Mojo. While no release date or details were given, Blackwell confirmed the label obtained the rights to the 1986 LP, saying, "We're finally going to put it out. Prince's people agreed, almost too easy." A rep for Third Man could neither confirm nor deny the planned release. A rep for the Prince estate did not immediately return Rolling Stone's request for comment. The fabled Camille came about as Prince began experimenting with pitch shifting his vocals, and he planned to release an album under his feminine alter ego Camille. While a handful of test pressings of the album were made, a full release was ultimately scrapped. In the decades past, those test pressings have been major record collector grails, occasionally popping up at auction. White told Mojo he paid $49,375 for one of those copies because, as he puts it, we had to show we had some skin in the game. While Camille never saw the light of day, all 8 tracks were eventually released in a different form. The record includes several Sign of the Times cuts, including Housequake, Strange Relationship, and If I Was Your Girlfriend, plus B-side Feel You Up and Shockadelica. Other cuts include Good Love, which appeared on the soundtrack to Bright Lights, Big City, and Rock Hard in a Funky Place, from the 1984's Black Album. Okay, so that's the article. Pretty succinct, not a long read, but I feel like they kinda said some stuff that I kind of already said. So I just want to preface all of this with the fact that what I was saying, because I did make a video called "The Camille Album is Unnecessary, Please Don't Give Us That Album." Now, keep in mind, I made that video years ago. I made that video before we even started getting any of those posthumous releases. And at the time, people were saying, well, the first thing that I want the Prince estate to put out, obviously Camille. And I'm like, why would that be obvious? What are we talking about here? No, we do not need the Camille album. So the Camille album, okay, so we have, it goes side A, side B. So it's a single LP, Rebirth of the Flesh, Housequake, Strange Relationship, Feel You Up, Shockadelica, Good Love, If I Was Your Girlfriend, and then Rock Hard in a Funky Place. So it was 8 songs. Obviously, my main argument is that if you are the type of person who is really, really interested in Camille, that probably means that you are already deep into Prince, which means you probably also already have all of these songs. We also now have the capability of making pretty succinct and easy to do playlists, whether it's on Apple Music or Spotify or whatever you want to put. I mean, I could make a playlist like that and have a Camille album ready to go. There are a couple of caveats to that, and this came up in a couple of the comments from some of my other video, but also just in the past since this has been announced. So the first one is that Rebirth of the Flesh, that was kind of one of those songs that was pretty much the only one that hadn't been on something. But that was released on Sign of the Times Super Deluxe. So now we do have access to that song. Housequake, it's off of Sign of the Times. Strange Relationship, Sign of the Times. Feel You Up, it was a B-side, so you could find it as a B-side, but it's also on Prince The B-Sides. Again, very easy to get your hands on. Shockadelica, B-sides. Good Love, that was on Crystal Ball. Now, Crystal Ball is a little bit harder to get your hands on right now, but again, Camille is not the target for the general person who's just getting into Prince, or is just finding out about him and just kind of wants to try Prince out. Camille's not the album for that. Camille is for us. Camille is the kind of album that we would enjoy as Prince friends. So Shockadelica, so Good Love on Crystal Ball, it has been released. It was on Crystal Ball. But yes, I realize that not everybody has access to Crystal Ball. But even they said it was on the Bright Lights Big City soundtrack. I'm like, nobody has that soundtrack. It was on Crystal Ball. Then, If I Was Your Girlfriend, that's already on Sign of the Times. And then Rock Hard in a Funky Place. Now, somebody had made a comment on one of my videos saying, because the Black Album is not available to stream, Rock Hard in a Funky Place is not available for them to add to playlists. So I kind of get that, right? I understand that. Now, and this is not an ad or anything, but I'm an Apple person, and I've had iTunes for years. And years ago, there was a thing that was called Apple Match or iTunes Match. And what that was is that literally I upload all of my songs to their cloud, and then I can use those in playlists and whatever the same way as I would anything that I got from them. So yes, the Black Album is not available for streaming, but I had the Black Album. And honestly, it's easy to get the Black Album. That's actually one of those that you can find that almost anywhere on like a torrent site, or just ask somebody. They'll probably send it to you. But the Black Album, if you use something like iTunes Match, and I'm sure there's a lot of other versions that you can do, you just upload it and then you can make your playlists. So literally, if you're like me, the CD user, the digital streamer, that kind of person, you have options. They don't need to release this as an actual album. But that being said, if they're going to be releasing an LP of it, and it's hard to tell what they're doing with this. It just says that they're planning on releasing the album. It doesn't say whether they're going to do a vinyl press, although if it's Jack White, it would be silly not to. So if they're going to do it as a vinyl, I kind of get it, because there are a lot of vinyl people out there who are really wanting to have this so that they could just put it on and listen to it. But is that enough? Like, I don't know. And you can tell me whether, if you're a vinyl head, if that's the reason why you're excited about this. Because if you listen to music on a CD, this should not matter at all. Now, if they're going to also have like access to like exclusive photos, liner notes, maybe behind the scenes stuff, I don't even know what they're going to have. But if they get access to that and it's part of the overall package, I actually would be kind of interested in seeing that, because I want to see what they would do. Of course, this is Third Man, Jack White's company, who is releasing this. And, basically, he even said it in an article. He asked the estate and they said, yeah, go do it. And you know why? Because that's one thing they don't have to do. If somebody else is going to front all the money, they're going to pay for all the printing, they're going to pay for all the press, they're going to do everything, they're going to compile it, they're going to master it, or I don't even know what they're going to do with all of that stuff. If they're going to do everything and all the estate has to do is pick up a check, and Jack White, apparently, if he's this deep for Camille and everything, oh yeah, so I would trust Jack White with this. Plus, Jack White is an artist. He understands. He's fought a lot in the past for his own artistry. Do some research on Jack White. He's pretty cool, even if he's not necessarily my type of music. If he and I both love Prince, then I'm on his side. But just the fact that he could take this over from the estate, and the estate can just collect a check for something that is really only targeted at a niche market. If the estate had spent all of the money in order to make this thing happen, and then a fraction of the people who would buy something like a Prince and the Revolution live, big sat, blah, 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 a fraction of the people are going to buy the Camille vinyl than would buy that. So that's really my big point, especially since you have access to all of the stuff. Now, again, my main point was we need stuff out of the vault first, people. Prince Estate, do not focus on trying to get us a Camille album. We need other things. But you know what? We've had several deluxe editions. We've had the originals. We've had Piano and a Microphone. We've had Welcome to America. And the estate doesn't have to take any focus off of the stuff that they are doing to work on Camille. Hey, guys, have at it. Go ahead and grab your copy of Camille, I guess, whenever it actually comes out. Of course, they just let it leak that they were going to get the rights and that they were going to release it, not that it's out now or anything. And obviously, when it does come out, I'll talk about it, and I'll grab a copy, of course, and I'll review it. I mean, it's part of my brand now at this point. I have to. So the big thing is that I really, really just want to stress that when I said the Camille album was unnecessary, it was because I really wanted other things from the vault. I don't need tracks I already have. And it's even easier to create a Camille playlist nowadays after this Sign of the Times Super Deluxe. And if the rumors are true that the Crystal Ball is going to be reissued and whatnot, it's going to make Good Love even that much easier to come out. And, you know, the Prince hits and the B-sides, that's already on all the streaming, so Fill You Up is easy to grab. So, I don't know, it's interesting. Camille is one of those weird things about Prince that is fascinating, but in the end, he ended up not releasing that album. It ended up getting folded into, largely folded at least, into Sign of the Times. And, you know, people are like, oh, we want to hear the music as it was originally intended. And, yeah, I mean, Prince intentionally put it on Sign of the Times. And yes, I've heard the story about how he was told to bring it down from 3 to 2 discs, or even actually he was told to do 1, and he's like, I'll stop at 2. It has to be 2 records. It has to be a double album, not, sure, it doesn't have to be a triple, I guess, but it does have to be a double. In that whole transition, he made those choices. So to say, I want to hear it the way he originally intended, I don't know. It rings hollow to me, because yes, that was an album that was originally intended. I don't know, guys. Like, I'm releasing an album soon, my second album, and I had a whole lot of plans. I wrote a ton of songs and early sequencing and stuff. Like, I had some songs on there and I took them off, and then I put other songs on there and I took those off and I rearranged it and everything. But if somebody was to like get a hold of the original sequencing and say that was how he originally intended it, and it'd be like, well, I mean, I released it this way though, so that might be how I originally intended it, but it's not how I released it. So I don't know. It's a weird argument, and I get it too, because a lot of people believe that Prince, I don't know, was bullied by his record company. But even the stories of that time period, it was less bullying and more like, dude, this is what we have budget for. And Prince said, fine, here's what I'll, you know, the contention was not really there until the later in his career, as far as I know. In the, you know, the mid 80s, they were on pleasant terms, as far as I've heard from anybody that has been involved. So anyway, Jack White's coming out with Camille at some point. We don't know in what format or what it's going to look like. Instead of making this a news thing, I thought I'd go ahead and react. And my pure reaction is, okay. But what do you guys think? Let me know about it down in the comments. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you always know when Prince's Friend puts out a new video. If you want to become a channel supporter, don't forget to hit join under this video to become a YouTube member, or go to patreon.com/princessfriend to support us there. And I guess that will do. May you live to see the dawn. I love you all. See you in the next video.